Some say all the secrets to wealth are written in the criminal law. As long as you dare to take risks, you can reap huge profits. Even today, many people still make a living in the gray industry. Many criminal forces have transitioned from early violent crimes to economic crimes involving high intelligence. We all know that people should obey the law, but perhaps we don't know why people should obey the law. Generally speaking, what drives us to obey the law is influenced by several factors. The first is the inertia of education. For example, from birth, living under the construction of social order, parents tell Jong San to obey them at home, listen to elders, and obey teachers at school. The principal's words. When Jong San graduates and enters society, he also needs to abide by the laws of society and social norms. The second is the pressure of public opinion. If in the above process, Jong San shows resistance, the surrounding public opinion will pressure based on consensus, applying public pressure to those who defy order. For example, if Jong San likes his deskmate's eraser, but his mother won't buy it, so Jong San secretly takes the eraser from his deskmate. At this point, Jong San's actions are discovered, will be criticized by the teacher, looked down upon by classmates, because in our consensus, theft or misappropriation of others' property are illegal and unethical. Even if Jong San may in his heart rationalize his behavior, I just stole an eraser. But under public pressure, moral condemnation, Jong San will still feel guilty, shame. This also made Jong San realize the pressure of making mistakes is very harsh. The third point is disciplinary education. If the inertia of education, public pressure, cannot make Jong San learn to follow the rules, from Jong San stealing erasers, gradually developed into stealing phones, stealing cash, even in future work, committing occupational crimes. At this time, discipline will be involved in correcting Jong San's behavior. Lightly, it is the school's discipline. Heavily, it is legal judgment. Besides educating the criminals, discipline also serves as a warning to others. This makes us all realize, not following the law comes with a price. Of course, the above are relatively main influencing factors. I will not elaborate further on this. We can see, in this process, Jong San is not voluntarily following the rules, bound by the environment, have to follow the rules. Yes, the environment can shape human behavior. This is the key to building a civilized society, compared to empty moral shouting, and those moral performances in public places. How to improve legislation and law enforcement, promote the spirit of the law, and shaping a social atmosphere where everyone follows the rules, is the key to opening a civilized society. Is it possible for Jong San to escape legal sanctions? Generally speaking, there are two types of legal punishment, or receive lenient punishment. The first type is minors. The second type is mentally ill patients. For example, in Korean movies, they often discuss juvenile delinquency. Simply because the criminal is a minor, they can openly escape legal sanctions. Even some wealthy and powerful heirs can bribe others to manipulate the psychiatric evaluation results, and thus evade legal sanctions. Eventually, the parents of the victims in the movie cannot seek justice through the law, and turn to private acts of revenge. Therefore, before legal punishment is imposed on criminals, it is necessary to establish the legal responsibility of the offenders, if they are found in the law to be not criminally responsible. Their criminal actions are purely objective facts. However, in terms of subjective actions, they do not have subjective malice. This involves the important foundation of the law, that is, the freedom of will possessed by humans. This is also an important philosophical issue. In the history of philosophy, the earliest discussions of evil and free will by humans can be traced back to ancient Greek times. For example, Socrates and Plato. They both believe that the source of evil is ignorance. Humans seek to achieve goodness. They need to be given the knowledge of what is good. We all know what happened later. Influenced by the death of Socrates, Plato, in order to achieve justice in his heart, designed the system of the ideal state. In his work, The Republic, he brainwashed through education, the monopoly of violence, imposed a kind of control on human free will. This kind of objectified regulation, Aristotle, on the other hand, restored the uncertainty and right of choice of individual free will. He believed that free will itself has a dual nature, meaning that doing evil is a voluntary act of humans. Augustine also disagreed with this. Plato's ignorance and evil. He believed that evil is a product of free will. The first step for humans to become human is to go against God, just as Adam ate the fruit of that tree. From that moment on, humans gained the freedom to determine themselves. Similarly, humans also opened the source of all evil. In Augustine's view, even if humans have free will, they can subjectively choose their actions. Humans do not possess the power to do good. Only by believing in God can one obtain this power. In Augustine's view, the natural law of ancient Rome is human reason. It is the understanding and sharing of God's eternal law. Every secular state, when legislating, must adhere to the principles of natural law. Because natural law derives from God's eternal law, secular states need to follow this natural demand for justice. In other words, justice is bright, and justice is eternal. Justice predates the existence of the state. Justice is a habit of the human soul. It stems from human nature. It is a fundamental dignity that everyone possesses. So even today we can find this moral restraint has had a great impact on political rights in the Western world. Has had a significant impact. In other words, above the law there is faith and conscience. So in Augustine's view, the legislation of any secular state, if it does not follow natural law, if it does not adhere to this bright justice, this legal system itself is illegal. Consequently, the government of this country is also illegal. So how do we attain justice? Augustine believed that for humans to attain justice, the prerequisite is to love God and love fellow human beings. Love is the foundation of all justice. Justice resides within the individual. Individuals make up our collective. Just imagine, if a person has no faith, and does not love their fellow human beings, how can they embrace the concept of justice? Now, consider this. A collective formed by such individuals. How can it build a just society? Based on the idea of faith and conscience above this legal system, Augustine believed that the position of religion should be higher than political institutions. Religion should transfer the power of exercising power to the secular state. This power of loving God and loving fellow human beings became the core principle of his philosophy as a church father. Based on this philosophical assertion, Augustine wrote the influential City of God. Quote, he believed that all evil is a disorder of love. Therefore, people are divided into two categories: those who love God and love fellow human beings, and those who love the secular world and themselves. Those who love God and love fellow human beings become the city of God, while those who love the secular world and themselves become the city of the world. These two cities do not exist separately. Instead, they exist in society in an intangible way. When the city of the world begins to despise faith, it loses love for its fellow citizens. Society inevitably declines. When the city of God is based on divine love, and loves its neighbors, society inevitably prospers. From this moment on, the social order of the Christian world, ordained by God's authority, has already been revealed. Augustine used this transcendent justice of church law as the foundation for the rule of law in the Western world. Westerners also gradually formed a rule of law ideology. That is, for laws to establish stable universal rules, they must first follow the will of God. True law is good law, not evil law. If laws only come from Caesar, they easily become evil laws serving the will of rulers. Furthermore, laws must be universally believed in to gain people's respect and voluntary compliance. Only then will society possess a public will to honor discipline and lawfulness. On the contrary, if a society does not believe in laws, laws not only become evil, but will also be replaced by hidden rules outside the law. From then on, the faith of Christianity, it has not only become the spiritual sustenance of Westerners, but also a criterion for judging good and evil will in Western society. They establish the ethical and moral standards of society, prompting people to engage in social introspection, upholding the values that support people's hearts. Therefore, the spirit of the rule of law is only effective for believers. For those who do not believe in the spirit of the rule of law, the law is just a set of empty provisions. For the sake of community interests, they will inevitably take risks. They no longer take pride in abiding by the law, but in finding pride in exploiting legal loopholes. They not only lack faith, but also do not appeal to conscience. They adhere to the underground rules of order. This is their way of survival. In their hearts, we can always find a kind of false self-confidence. They usually believe that barbarism will destroy civilization, and that rogues will eventually dominate the world. For those who attempt to challenge the order of human civilization, rogues will eventually rape the world. For those who attempt to challenge the order of human civilization, I want to say, those who often start fires will eventually burn themselves. Those who disregard the law, criminals who greedily amass wealth, will ultimately be nailed to the pillar of historical shame. Next episode, we will continue to explore the philosophical thoughts of Augustine, discussing the relationship between faith and reason together. Stay tuned as I take you through a popular look at philosophy. Friends, see you next time.